Elon Musk, a man whose words often carry the weight of innovation and resilience, has shared countless insights that have shaped not only his journey, but also the mindset of those who dare to dream big, take risks, and push the boundaries of what's possible. His words are a fusion of raw ambition, unrelenting persistence, and a fearless approach to failure, making them invaluable lessons for entrepreneurs, engineers, and visionaries alike. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor, he says, embodying the sheer force of will that has propelled him through SpaceX failures and Tesla's near-bankruptcy moments. He refuses to let obstacles define the outcome, insisting failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. Musk believes that breakthroughs arise not from avoiding mistakes, but from embracing them as stepping stones to greatness. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. His commitment to enduring hardships, whether it's sleeping on the Tesla factory floor or pouring every last dime into his companies, reinforces his belief that great companies are built on great products. Musk's relentless pursuit of excellence is echoed in his assertion that any product that needs a manual to work is broken. His obsession with simplicity and efficiency extends beyond product design. It applies to life itself. If you need inspiring words, don't do it, he challenges, knowing that true passion does not require external validation. Yet his wisdom does not come without humor and self-awareness. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary, he reminds us, a testament to his belief that greatness is not inherited but cultivated through deliberate action. He questions the very foundation of how we think, stating the first step is to establish that something is possible, then probability will occur. Musk's refusal to accept impossibility is a defining trait of his leadership. He once said, "I don't think it's a good idea to plan to sell a company," reinforcing his philosophy that true visionaries are driven by purpose rather than exit strategies. His demand for excellence extends to those around him. As he asserts, talent is extremely important. It's like a sports team. The team that has the best individual player will often win. But then there's a multiplier effect of how those players work together. He champions the idea that brilliance must be paired with synergy, stating a company is only as good as its people and how excited they are about creating. Musk does not believe in dwelling on problems, but rather on solutions. Don't be afraid of new arenas. This willingness to step into the unknown is what led him to disrupt industries from finance to space travel. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster, he warns, advocating for adaptability in an ever-evolving world. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself, he advises, reinforcing the power of self-reflection. Musk's deep understanding of physics influences his thought process as he suggests, boil things down to their fundamental truths and reason up from there rather than by analogy. He sees this approach as key to original thinking. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket, he quips, an insight into his high-risk, high-reward mindset. Musk encourages people to take bold actions, stating, if something is important enough, even if the odds are against you, you should still do it. He challenges traditional career advice, urging work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in 80 to 100-hour weeks every week. His work ethic is legendary, and he believes that output is directly proportional to effort. If other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, then even if you're doing the same thing, you will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve. Despite his immense ambition, Musk remains focused on the bigger picture, stating, "I would like to die on Mars, just not on impact." He envisions a future where humanity becomes a multi-planetary species, urging, "We are at the dawn of a new era, and the first step is to imagine that future." He cautions against complacency, declaring the future is going to be better than the past. I'm not suggesting complacency, but optimism. Musk's optimism is grounded in action, not wishful thinking. Brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time, he notes, emphasizing the importance of delivering results over flashy marketing. He detests bureaucracy, stating, "The problem is that at a lot of big companies, process becomes a substitute for thinking." Musk prioritizes speed and efficiency, believing that you should take the approach that you're wrong. Your goal is to be less wrong. He rejects arrogance and values continuous learning. I think most of the important stuff on the internet has been built by teams of people, not just one person. He acknowledges that collaboration drives progress, urging leaders to make sure you understand the fundamental principles of whatever you're working on so you don't get lost in details. Musk embodies his own words by constantly pushing the limits of technology and human potential. The path to the CEO's office should not be through the CFO's office, and it should not be through the marketing department. It needs to be through engineering and design, he insists, reinforcing the need for leaders to be deeply involved in the core of their companies. It's important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. This feedback loop is what enables him to refine his innovations continually. Musk's passion for exploration is evident when he says, "The best minds of my generation are thinking about how to make people click ads. That sucks." He challenges the brightest minds to solve meaningful problems instead. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better, he reiterates, emphasizing iterative improvement. Musk's obsession with efficiency extends to decision-making. Don't waste time on stuff that doesn't actually make things better. He believes in first principles thinking, stating, "Physics is really the law and everything else is a recommendation." He embraces risk, arguing, "If you go back a few hundred years, what we take for granted today would seem like magic." His vision for the future remains clear. "If humanity doesn't land on Mars in my lifetime, I would be very disappointed." Musk's words, interwoven with insight, discipline, and an almost reckless courage, serve as a blueprint for those willing to defy convention and build the future. Elon Musk's relentless drive is fueled by his unwavering belief in the power of audacity and innovation. He asserts, "You want to be extra rigorous about making the best possible thing you can. Find everything that's wrong with it and fix it. Seek negative feedback, particularly from friends." His willingness to embrace criticism rather than shy away from it is a testament to his pursuit of excellence. "I always have optimism, but I'm realistic. It's not with the expectation that everything's going to be great. That's naive. It's with the understanding that it's possible to improve things and make things better." Musk operates at the intersection of realism and optimism, recognizing that hardship is an inevitable part of meaningful progress. He reminds us, "The tough thing is figuring out what questions to ask, but once you do that, The rest is really easy. His ability to break down complex problems into fundamental truths has been a driving force behind his success. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working. He places immense value on workplace culture, knowing that motivation comes from purpose rather than mere compensation. If you're co-founder or CEO, you have to do all kinds of tasks you might not want to do. If you don't do your chores, the company won't succeed. No task is too menial. Musk leads by example, willing to do whatever it takes to ensure success. There's a tremendous bias against taking risks. Everyone is trying to optimize their ass covering. He condemns the fear-driven culture that inhibits true innovation, urging people to take the risk now, do something bold, you won't regret it. He emphasizes urgency, stating, the longer you wait to do something, the harder it becomes. Musk believes that hesitation is the enemy of progress. My biggest mistake is probably weighing too much on someone's talent and not someone's personality. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. He acknowledges the human element of leadership, understanding that integrity is just as crucial as intelligence. You shouldn't do things differently just because they're different. They need to be better. Musk champions innovation for the sake of progress, not novelty. Being an entrepreneur is like eating glass and staring into the abyss of death. He does not sugarcoat the brutal reality of entrepreneurship, warning that the journey is not for the faint of heart. Starting and growing a business is as much about the innovation, drive, and determination of the people behind it as the product they sell. He knows that a company's success is a reflection of the people who build it. Patience is a virtue, and I'm learning patience. It's a tough lesson. Despite his urgency, Musk acknowledges that some things require time. I think AI is going to be our biggest existential threat. He has long expressed concerns about artificial intelligence, believing that regulation and oversight are necessary to prevent potential risks. I think we have a duty to maintain the light of consciousness to ensure it continues into the future. Musk's mission extends beyond business. He sees himself as a guardian of human progress. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. He understands risk management in a way that allows him to take massive bets without losing everything. The first step is to establish that something is possible. Then probability will occur. His mindset is built on proving that the impossible is merely a challenge waiting to be solved. You get paid in direct proportion to the difficulty of problems you solve. Musk knows that true value comes from tackling the hardest problems. I say something, and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. His timelines may be ambitious, but his vision eventually materializes. I don't create companies for the sake of creating companies, but to get things done. Unlike many entrepreneurs, Musk does not chase money, he chases impact. People underestimate Tesla because they think it's a car company, but Tesla is much more than that. It's an AI and robotics company. He sees Tesla not just as an automaker, but as a technology-driven force shaping the future. You have to be careful about blindly following a trend. You need to ask whether it actually makes sense. Musk values independent thinking over herd mentality. You don't need college to learn stuff. Everything is available for free. You can learn anything you want for free. He challenges conventional education, believing that knowledge is accessible to anyone willing to seek it. The greatest minds of our generation should be working on solving important problems, not optimizing ad clicks. He urges innovators to focus on meaningful pursuits. What makes innovative thinking happen? I think it's really a mindset. You have to decide. He knows that creativity and innovation begin with a conscious choice. You shouldn't be too attached to conventional wisdom. Conventional wisdom is often wrong. Musk thrives on challenging norms. Don't confuse education with learning. Just because you have a degree doesn't mean you actually learned anything useful. He believes practical knowledge far outweighs formal credentials. The goal of a company is not revenue. It should be to create products and services that make people's lives better. His mission-driven approach to business has reshaped industries. If rules are such that you can't make progress, then you have to fight the rules. Musk has never let regulations stand in the way of innovation. I don't believe in process. In fact, when I interview a potential employee and he or she says that it's all about the process, I see that as a bad sign. He prioritizes results over bureaucracy. One of the biggest traps for smart engineers is optimizing a thing that shouldn't exist. Musk understands that sometimes the best solution is eliminating inefficiencies entirely. There are way easier places to work, but nobody ever changed the world on 40 hours a week. His commitment to working harder than anyone else is evident in everything he does. I would rather commit seppuku than fail. While dramatic, this statement highlights his extreme dedication. The reality is, if we don't move towards sustainable energy, we're going to have economic collapse due to environmental catastrophe. Musk sees sustainability as non-negotiable. Some people dream of success, while others wake up and work hard at it. He believes action is the true differentiator. The goal is to minimize the probability of regret. Musk lives by the principle of taking bold action to ensure he never looks back with disappointment. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. He understands that mindset shapes reality. It is possible for us to create a better future and one that is exciting and inspiring. Musk's unwavering belief in human potential is the driving force behind everything he does. His words, steeped in wisdom, ambition, and a fearless pursuit of the extraordinary, continue to serve as a guiding light for those who dare to challenge the impossible and build the future.